Live from Brooklyn, New York, this is Stay Busy with Armon Sadler.
Well, you know that I'm the guy. I'm out here living life. I'm busy. Stay busy. Stay busy. Stay busy. Making moves and catching flights. So please don't waste my time. I'm busy. Stay busy. Stay busy. Stay busy, yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another edition of Stay Busy with Armon Sadler. We have responsible discussions on the entertainment business and the entertainment culture. I am, of course, your host, head honcho, vegan chorizo poppy, founder of B&B, also known as the bald nigga bombshell who is in your podcast studio, your headphones, your car radio, your Bluetooth speaker, whatever you're listening on, the bald nigga bombshell is in it. And I also go by Chinedu, and the only man to sit in front of Taylor Rooks and not tell a lie, Armon Sadler. Good to be back. Hope you guys enjoyed the return episode. Got to thank you to my family, my Need to Know family, Savon, Alex, and Reggie for pulling up. Had a great time with y'all as always. Listeners, make sure you subscribe on the YouTube channel or your favorite audio streaming platform. Leave a like, comment, share, all that good stuff. It means a lot to us and what we are trying to do. And if you want some exclusive bonus content, I don't know if y'all peeped the new Patreon setup, but we got some extended episodes for y'all with some bonus segments. So subscribe at patreon.com/staybusypod to get access to all the raw, unfiltered, unhinged content that we have. Today, I'm honored to be joined by my guys. At least once or twice a month, we link up at one of their cribs. We get that Tony Baloney's. We get that Insomnia or that Chip City cookies.
Delicioso.
We watch some good old-fashioned wrestling. We might play some WWE 2K.
Yeah.
We might play some NCAA. We might
Classics.
watch the NBA. I'm rhyming. I don't even mean to because I'm just that nice with it.
Talk to him.
To my immediate left is a legend in the game. You might have seen him as the host of the Debut Live. You might have seen him as the host of Billboard Unfiltered. He's interviewed all your favorite rappers, singers, athletes, wrestlers multiple times over. The Deputy Director of R&B and Hip Hop at Billboard, none other than my Haitian brother, Carl Lamarre. Welcome to the show, my brother.
Sock out fat,
Yes, sir.
man.
Yes,
Sock out
sir.
fat, man.
Yes, sir.
Listen, I got new cookies for y'all too.
Okay.
Bro.
Oh my God.
Bang cookies.
Bang cookies? All right.
Bro,
All right.
all I'm going to say, listen, I got the seesaw chocolate chip on Saturday.
That sounds fire.
You got me open, but nah, it wasn't even that. I got the white macadamia, and I didn't eat it till the day after.
Okay.
Shit was still sore.
Okay.
It was sore from tender.
Say less.
Yeah,
And this
man.
is also a welcome back. We had Carl on the show.
bro. Happy to be here.
Like
Broski.
April 2023. That was a great
Yeah.
time. So happy to have you back, my brother. Thank you for joining.
Thanks for having me.
The other third of our weekend White Claw drinking,
Yes.
Tony Baloney's eating trio.
Yes.
This guy, multifaceted content creator, consultant, has worked for Fanatics, has worked for Dunkyard, has written for Billboard, has written for someone who I've known for several years, seen the come up. The amount of things that he's involved in, Dunkyard, it's just endless. And truly, like, the fact that he lives where he lives and is always on the scene, always posting content, editing content, took up photography recently. Like, it's just a nonstop flow of content. So great to have him on the show once again. My guy, Arden Franklyn.
Thank you. Love is love. Stay busy, fan. What up? It's
Yes,
good
sir.
to be back.
Yeah.
I think the last time we chopped it up on your lovely show, man, this was like prime pandemic.
February 2021.
Yeah, that was a
Wow.
really good episode.
Yeah,
I remember that vividly off the Zoom, bro.
Yeah,
and I'm
yeah.
super proud of what you've been doing with this platform
Thank you.
in your overall career.
Yes,
I ain't
sir.
gonna lie, I'm gonna give you flowers once again for the fact that you're one of the very few dudes that, as a avid reader of articles, who, upon me reading their first stuff, you immediately became one of my favorite writers, bro. And this was during, for the folks who may not remember or know, this was the first version of Prime Armon, fresh off the Medium. Like, some of y'all don't know about Medium Armon. Like, I know Medium Armon, where he had this incredible breakdown of Dark Lane demo tapes. I remember that.
Yeah.
That's how far we go back.
Yeah, man.
And off the rip, I was like, oh yeah, this to me is one of the hottest riders in the game. And you soon became my brother and friend in this game, bro. And again, I'm super proud of you, man.
Thank you, man. Thank you. Yeah. So family in the building.
Amen.
Well
salute to it. We're gonna have a real great time. Make sure you follow these guys, the real CL24 on all social media.
Yes, sir.
At Is That Arden on all social media. Make sure that you follow them. We'll give you all the ats again later on. But tap in with my brothers. So let's get right to it. We're gonna get into our lunch break, which is our sports/WWE conversation. I think we're gonna get a lot of mileage out of this first one. So I don't know how deep y'all are in the internet wrestling community, otherwise known as the IWC, but people are not liking this WrestleMania build. At all. Like, whether it's Cody Cena, whether it's Jay Gunther, whether it's Bianca Rhea Io, whether it's Tiffany Charlotte, they're not liking this WrestleMania build. It's something that I talk about a lot with like my Discord of my wrestling friends, and I find it so funny because if you remember the WrestleMania build last year, that shit was chaotic. So I'm like, yo, this one has a lot of like long-term storytelling or fresh matchups, like stuff that you can be interested in for a variety of reasons. So I wanted to get your perspective on the WrestleMania build so far, how you feeling about it, specific stories you like, specific stories you don't like, and let's just tackle it.
I think this past Raw, today's Raw, elevated storyline so crazy. I know we were talking about it ahead of the show. I think the Cena Cody storyline went up a couple of fucking notches.
Did.
A lot of people were expecting, at some point The Rock to come out. We still haven't gotten that yet. But that one-on-one matchup on the mic.
Yes.
Cena, as we know, Hall of Fame caliber. Cody on his way up, living legend. To see Cody be able to stand mano a mano with the GOAT on the mic,
bro.
And like you were saying earlier, the way it looks like they were free balling it too. And you got little shots being thrown at Vince, at Tony Khan. I thought that was just seamless storytelling. And, to the IWC, man, what I've learned, don't ever doubt Hunter. He thrives in the fourth quarter.
Yes.
And he's still building. We still have another 19 days as of today until Mania comes. And I felt the same way about Gunther and Jay. Yes, it was a little stale, but today,
man,
Gunther put on a fucking masterclass to remind niggas, I'm the same cat that went, 600 plus days with the IC title, the blood on, the Jimmy's blood on his body?
That's going to be one of the best shots of the year.
That's going to be a crazy video package because of that.
Bro. I think the only thing, that I was a little unsure about was, I feel like they're kind of reusing the Sammy Gunther storyline a little bit in terms of Jay being a bit of a pussy.
Oh, and doubting himself?
I thought that was a little corny. But throwing Jimmy into the mix, and shout out to Jimmy, bro. Because he always be getting washed in these shits.
Real one.
He's like, Hunter be like, yo, take a 3-week vacay, bro. For the fucking team, bro.
He a real one. I feel very similar as well. But for me, I've just been laughing at the IWC for the last few weeks. I'm like, y'all acting like we haven't been through this before.
Bro.
Like, if
every year.
It's like, if anything, it's like, spoiler alert, things will really pick up when there's 3 weeks left to Mania. And I think because of their handling of the PLEs, right, in which you realize, for example, with the Rumble's important, it's significant, but you can't take literally the idea of whoever wins the Rumble supposed to main event. At this point, the reality is, if you win the Rumble, you're just going to get a title shot. But you can't take it literally, right? You also see with the Chamber, once again, has always been another semi-important event, but you're seeing now yo, the Chamber has wheels to where, to me, in my opinion, I would consider Chamber now a fringe A-list PLE that you got to pay attention to, on the road to Mania, because of the fact that, all right, if things don't set the table within, let's say, a month or 3 weeks after Rumble, Chamber definitely sets the tone for you to where it's really post-Chamber that you start seeing the real road to Mania. And what happens is, once again, 3 weeks, things start really picking up. Last year it happened, right? You think about Cody and Roman, Rock pulling up, the surprise appearances. All right, that's when things start getting spooky. And I think it's the same thing this year, where it's all right, boom, we finally got Cody and Cena having that face-to-face, to me, that was an A+ segment. That happens. Gunther, Jay, Jimmy, to me, it was another A+ segment. You start seeing things add up to where now, Friday night and next week, you're really going to see the crescendo.
Right.
To where by the time we get into the week of Mania, you know what to fully expect.
Yeah.
The table's been fully set. All the stipulations have been made. If you want to go through with your theories, you could go through with your theories. But I've been enjoying this build. But I think the biggest part of it has been, I know that with 3 weeks, this is when things pick up.
Yeah.
Right. But I've very much been enjoying it. And honestly, I kind of like being on this ride towards Mania where, I kind of rather see all the chaos happen closer to Mania.
Yeah.
I think it makes for a much more unpredictable Mania.
You can't fully unload the clip too soon because then what are you going to do in the weeks before? Like you said, those last couple weeks before Mania are so important. And I myself used to be a wrestling fan who used to be very critical of WrestleMania builds. And I think just the expectations, like you have to temper your expectations. And that's a life lesson. Like with music, with women, with whatever, you gotta manage your expectations better because we're also coming out of this post-Bloodline era. Yeah. And the Bloodline storytelling was fantastic. But it was kind of in its own lane. And now they're doing different things. Like, well, we were together, Rumble. None of us thought Jay was going to win. Then Jay won.
Facts.
You're like, oh shit, well, this makes perfect sense. How are they going to build to it? Who's he going to pick? He's going to pick Gunther. They've had so many matches over the last couple of years. He's got to finish that story. But I think people just look at wrestling in one way. Also, the reality is like a lot of the negativity on social media is because Elon bucks. Like niggas are trying to get as much engagement as possible to get money. And again, that extends beyond wrestling. It's in music, it's in politics, it's in whatever. And so a lot of it I don't take too seriously. I do a good job scrolling past it, but I don't know. For the wrestling fans who like genuinely don't like this build, I'm really curious as to why, as to what it is. Like you're seeing people really hyper focusing on Jay not being the best wrestler. I'm like, he's never been the best wrestler.
Never. It's a 3 moveset.
But my dog is over. We've all been at shows. You hear that music, you wave them arms. Like that's what we're here for. Jay gets arguably the loudest pops in the company right now. And they've been building him for 5 years to this moment. And so it's like for everyone who wanted new stars, you're looking at a new star right here. So to say he's not deserving of this moment just doesn't really make sense to me. The Bianca Io Rhea story, I think it's been super fun. I love that they've been really taking their time in confirming the triple threat. Like we saw the Rhea Io match today that Bianca was special guest referee. I love the way they played that out where it was a double DQ because both of them got physical with her. It was shocking to me when Io won, but I love that Triple H is willing to make these changes close to Mania because like H loves his long title reigns. Rhea was only champion from January to like early March, which was shocking because you would have assumed Rhea was going to go on another long run. But he put the title on Io. He has 3 of the top women in the company in this story. We know it's going to be a triple threat. I think it's super cool, but people don't want Rhea involved for some reason because she's
Rhea Hogan, man.
Rhea Hogan, bro. Hey, that's my baby. I know that. Rhea Hogan is real though.
But
that's my baby.
But to that point, can I ask you this? Since obviously, you're the savant here. I wonder if the real issue is a gift and a curse that the WWE has too much talent. And a lot of cats aren't getting the proper shine, and you got to figure out and puzzle piece where they're going to fit on the bill, if they're even going to be on the bill. Like they just got AJ Styles back. You know, I think a lot of people have been quick to shit on this Damian Priest and Drew McIntyre.
And I feel like they're wrong for that too.
Bro, that's a story a year in the making.
Bro, literally. Go back to Mania last year. Bro,
he was there.
When Drew got fucked.
There for that.
Yeah.
You know, and they had a dope moment on SmackDown where Damian got physical. I think that has a match to be, I mean, they has the potential to be a match of the night.
I'm about to say, I believe that. I think they're going to go crazy.
Every time they've had a match, they've had a banger. So
right, but I do wonder if it's because they have so much talent that they have to figure out.
Yeah. They have an embarrassment of riches. I mean, Sami Zayn still isn't a world champion yet.
And we don't even know if he's going to be on the bill.
Yeah, just 2 years ago, he had a match against Roman at Elimination Chamber. People wanted him in Cody's spot. I'm a Drew McIntyre fan. I haven't seen Drew hold a world title for longer than 5 minutes since 2021.
It's hurt a lot of us in the player haters committee.
Yeah,
Drew hasn't had a title
but
yet.
I think the biggest thing people have to learn is like, it's difficult. I get it, but finding a way to compromise your fandom with what is happening in the company right now and like who is super hot. Like Liv, a lot of people didn't think Liv would get the long run with the title she had, but she was cooking. Merch was moving, crowds was into it. Her and Rhea had a hot story. They had a couple hiccups along the way, but like that for me, it's I'm a fan of the product before I'm a fan of a specific person.
Yeah.
And so I enjoy what or critique what the product is giving to me. I'm not just invested in one person's success or one person's downfall even. And I think a lot of these people operate from stand perspectives. And so, yeah, the fact that they have so much talent, like, hey, man, in about 3-4 months, Braun Breaker's leaving the IC title alone.
He's going to
be in that world title picture. So Sammy still might not win that world title. Right. Drew might not get it back. And then you got Punk and Seth and Roman still. Like, it's only so long you can go before they got to get a title back too. So, you know, it is what it is at this point. You either like what's going on or you don't. For me, the most fascinating thing, I would love to hear your perspectives on this. Like, people spend so much time talking about things that they dislike,
bro,
and it's just a really weird thing to me. Like, when I don't fuck with something, I don't want to see it. I don't want to hear about it. I don't want to talk about it. So I simply don't. But niggas be like every single day, just like whether it's a random people were mad that like Bianca and Rhea were in the gym together overseas and they were with a little kid. It was like, do you want them to act like they're TV characters?
Those are probably the old heads with the kayfabe, man.
It was like young people too. It was like, why are they being seen on social media together? I'm like, because they're real fucking people and it's not TV.
Somebody did that recently with Naomi and Jade. Yeah. I think they were at the OKC game, and I think
that was like 2 years ago.
And like so perfect because somebody had brought that up too. Like, damn, that's crazy, and it's like they're real people.
Yeah, bro. Yeah,
I think it's interesting y'all brought up that point because even like when I was looking at social media clips earlier, I saw Punk and Gunther had a match, and like Gunther, obviously, you know, he's overseas. The love is going to be there, but he kind of had a very baby face type of vibe. To where like him and AJ Styles went at it, he's lifting up AJ's hand. Him and Punk show love. I think we just gotta understand that this is entertainment.
Yep.
You know, and shout out to the wrestling purists who are very much like you know me first in this shit. Like, nah, we dying with this shit. But to y'all point, man, this is entertainment, man.
Yeah, that's the most fun part for me is not seeing my favorites thrive, but thinking through stories, like when we fantasy book in the group chat or when we're together and we fantasy book, that's more fun to me than like, oh, Drew McIntyre won a world title. Like, no, I want to know, where is this Chad Gable Penta shit going? Where is this Judgment Day shit going? Like, it's fun. It's more fun figuring that out than getting invested in, oh my God, like Rhea wins too much, Damian wins too much. Like, they're stars and they're super strong. That's what's gonna happen. Like, I don't know.
I realized with, you know, with the man I like to call Papa H from time to time, man, you know, he thrives when his back's against the wall, and there's like an insane amount of people who think they know what's going on. Like, he really thrives with that. That's when he turns into like Game 6 Clay, where he's like, I got something for your ass. Like, if you think you know, watch this. And I felt like Chamber was like a big example of that, right? Because like so many people from the IWC was reading the dirt sheets and thought, oh, such and such is winning the Chamber. This is going to happen. That is going to happen. And I already can envision him and the writers crew just like, oh, we got something for him. Like, they don't know what's about to hit him Saturday night.
Even tonight's Raw today's Raw was pretty exciting, bro. In
Absolutely.
terms of, like, elevating storylines. The one complaint I do have, and I'm curious to see, is, you know, we brought in these new belts. You have Lyra, who's the IC champ. You have Chelsea, who just has her new faction. She's the US champ. I would like to see more love. And I hope they get some love at Mania instead of just being relegated to Raw and SmackDown matches. You know, I feel like Lyra, she could wrestle her ass off, bro.
She's nice. I love
but she be getting no pop.
I mean, she hasn't even been on main roster for a year yet, so they're still getting to know her.
Right.
But like they do be chanting her theme a little bit. But yeah, compare her to a Becky or a Rhea. It's night and day in terms of crowd reaction.
But even then, like, you could say the same thing with like Braun. They probably came in around the same time. And Braun,
Yeah, Braun is over.
Yeah, he's over, man. But I think
Braun got presented better though, because like he got on TV, he was immediately mixing it up with like Dragunov. He cooked Ricochet, like
he put him in AEW,
like Lyra
I've rewatched that scene multiple times.
She did the King Queen of the Ring finals against Nia, and then she was barely on TV.
Yeah,
so they didn't really give her. They didn't put enough into her to where she'd be over like Braun is right now, and it's also like. The biggest thing for me in understanding wrestling is understanding there's a pecking order. And so Braun got pushed like the unbeatable nigga. So that means like Dragunov couldn't get pushed the same way. You can't push two rookies as unbeatable at the same time. So Dragunov kind of took a step back. Lyra, she came up. Tiffany was doing her thing on the other side. They had plans for Lyra. Like Lyra got immediately linked up with Becky, but then Becky went away, and it was like, damn, like not. And the Raw Women's division was kind of slim. Like it was literally Liv. She defended once against Zelina, and then Rhea came back, and it was just Liv Rhea for months. It's like they didn't really have much for Lyra to do, which sucked. So thankfully they moved Bayley over to Raw now, so she can mix it up with her. Raquel's back now, so they can do stuff with her. Dakota's healthy again, so they're building up that mid card women's division. I'm not sure if those titles are going to be on Mania, but I also like the concept of TV titles. Where seeing titles get defended on TV a lot more often, which is super dope to me. And the tag divisions. SmackDown's are super hot right now. Raw's is getting better. So yeah, I don't know, but thankfully Mania does typically have more matches per night, so there's possibility that they'll end up on Mania. But you also got to have a good SmackDown the night before Mania. You got to have stuff for the Raw after Mania. So people get left off. It happens sometimes.
A lot of things can happen, man. And you brought up Dragunov, man. When he comes back,
it's gonna be
imagine
crazy.
Like him and Penta.
It's gonna be
like,
hot, bro. It's gonna be hot.
You got
man.
Ray Phoenix coming through.
Cinema. My favorite under the radar part of this WrestleMania build, and I feel like we'll agree on this, has been what the Street Profits have been able to do. Shout out to the Good Brothers.
Finally got the titles, man.
Tez,
4 years.
Angelo, to see them, what I like to call reinvent themselves. Has been great. And then I love the fact that they gave them their moment before Mania. So instead of just waiting till Mania, right, take advantage of the red hot overseas crowds and let them have that moment. And again, like you said, bro, like the SmackDown tag division, I can't recall the last time they've had a bad match in the tag division in months. Like they have really been cooking. And I hope there's I hope they restore the feeling and have a dope triple threat fatal 4-way tag match with the belts. I wouldn't mind.
That's how it's feeling.
Yeah, I wouldn't mind. I wouldn't mind. Yeah, I wouldn't mind. Yeah, like a ladder match or a TLC, like because everyone's been cooking. Like seriously, everyone in that division has been
had a
cooking.
Good match with the Street Profits.
Last Friday.
Yeah,
bro.
For sure.
Yeah, but I'm proud of them. They've been my favorite under the radar part of the build. Like I get so excited seeing them on live TV or when I'm catching like a replay of the promos and stuff. I'm like, yo, even the moment that Montez has the other week where he did the flip off the suplex
just spun around
and the crowd shot.
Bro. He's nuts.
Cinema.
Yeah,
cinema.
We talk about all the time. Montez is a future star, and I love that him and Angelo are 10 toes down with each other.
That's loyalty, bro.
Facts.
And they stayed down and got themselves a title reign 4 years later. So
because we the worst kind of niggas. We were telling them in the office. I know I was like, yo, no heat, bro.
I was not.
I was not. I was like, yo, bro, like, no, yo. Shout out to Angelo, man.
Yeah, he's a dog.
He's a dog. But I was like, yo, Montez, man, that's your time, B. and he could have right then and there listened to the chatter.
Yeah.
Beyond me, obviously, the internet, everybody knows what he's capable of as a solo star. What he did at Chamber last year.
Yeah.
That he's capable of being a heavyweight champion at some, point. But,
I had to drop him a DM after they won the titles, man. Shout out to him for getting back to the boy. But I was like, man, I had to leave a memo. That's how I locked in.
Oh, you gave him like a Coach Carter, like
I did. I sent him some words first, so he came back. And then I was like, nah, bro, I had to take it to the voice memo, man. I let them know, bro. I had to, man. Like, I'm like legitimately proud of them, bro.
For sure.
Absolutely.
For sure. Yeah. Negativity on the internet aside, the crowds all sound like they love it. We're enjoying what's going on.
Side note, my fault for cutting you off.
You good.
Back to an early point about Jay. I kind of like how, and I know you mentioned, like, I do see the vision of how they remixing Sammy and Gunther.
Yeah.
But I do like how they add the self-doubt to Jay.
Yeah.
Just because least in my opinion, and I'm not complaining about it because I'm a part of Yeet Nation too. But like you've had a Jay over the last year who's growing to be extremely confident.
Yeah.
Right. To the point where he's overconfident in a good way. And I think from time to time, right, you have to have nuance with your characters.
Yeah.
So the execution at times could be better, but I do like those moments of I laughed when I started realizing, oh, they're making him like mess up moves on purpose. He's slipping now before the spear.
Was that legit?
Yeah. It
was a real slip up, I thought.
Well, no, he intentionally slipped.
Yeah, like the slip ups or like the spear that looks like a crossbody and he plays in it at.
You're
him addressing it in interviews. Like I like those little nuances because it's like, if you would have just been the same confident main event Jay against the ring general who they spent 2 years building up to be the demon that we know he is, to me, that doesn't feel authentic. Like, you gotta have him, have some doubt. And let me say this, man. Shout out to Big Jim. I knew Big Jim was gonna get belt. Like, I knew he was gonna get belt. I didn't expect all of this. I didn't expect all of that. Even that had my stomach turning a little bit. I didn't know he was gonna get all of that, man.
He takes one for the team, man. That's like a couple. What was it? Like SmackDown? That was when we were at SmackDown. We were all at SmackDown.
Yeah.
When Solo and them, they went haywire on dude. Put him through the table.
Oh, was that with Paul?
Paul
Heyman at the Garden. Man.
Yeah, bro.
I knew he was gonna get it, but I was like, God damn, I ain't expecting like that, bro.
He's gonna have a good 3 weeks off.
Man. Yeah, it's great storytelling. Moving into some other violence in the NBA. Some people saying the NBA is back, man. I don't know.
Detroit basketball.
We got
it feels like 04 again.
Modern version of the Malice at the Palace. The Detroit Pistons took on the Minnesota Timberwolves. Nas Reed went up for a layup, got hard fouled, and he was getting chippy with a couple dudes on the Pistons roster. He got into, I believe it was Ron Holland's face.
Yep.
And then Isaiah Stewart, who is always down.
Bro.
You ain't never seen a single basketball highlight from him. It is just always violence in niggas' faces, ready to go. But the real MVP or shocker of the brawl was Dante DiVincenzo getting involved, yoking niggas up, punching niggas, and it got so heated to the point where 7 people were ejected. Some of them were coaches. JB Bickerstaff got ejected. Pablo Prigioni got ejected too. Just a very, very wild thing to see. And but also like restoring the feeling. Like it's cool. It's cool. Yeah. Like obviously if you had parlays on the game, you was pissed. You was pissed. Thankfully I did not. So I could just enjoy it as someone who enjoys to watch some non-scripted violence from time to time. But yeah, what were your thoughts seeing the modern Malice?
I loved it. From time to time, man, like the NBA just gets a little too boring. Sometimes it's like, watching, paint dry on walls, man. So when you see dudes not only play but compete like that, like I said, it's a dope restoring the feeling. Plus, like we're a couple weeks away from the playoffs. Cats got to solidify their playoff standings. You might have your own reasons, right? You need to play good to solidify some freaking incentives, so you got to do all of that, man. But I felt like between those two teams, it didn't surprise me.
Yeah.
Detroit, led by the league leader in fights, and Isaiah Stewart will always be up for a grapple.
Yeah.
And Dante doesn't surprise me, man.
Yeah.
That's the red-headed demon, bro. He gonna get after it, man. Nova's finest. So he's gonna get involved with it. But now I loved it though. It was nice just to get that feeling back. Like, yeah, man, compete. Like y'all can't just all be buddy all the time, man. And just shoot a bunch of threes all game.
Yeah. I mean, shout out to Big Ragu, man. I still wish she was with New York. You know what I'm saying? We would
y'all could really use him. Like even though y'all still doing well 3rd seed, but like I think that shooting presence,
you would have been great off the bench.
Absolutely.
But I think what I love mainly is more so on the Detroit side, man, because they're having an incredible run where this is going to be their first playoff since like Blake Griffin days. And they were able to, I mean, granted, they lost last night, but they were playing without Cade Cunningham. You want to talk about restoring the feeling. This makes you feel like this is 80s Detroit basketball. Like you got some big boys down there, like Isaiah, like a Jalen Duren, Ron Holland, who, this is his first, second year. You know what I'm saying?
Thompson.
Thompson twins.
Thompson don't play.
Come on, bro. You got vets in Tobias, Timmy, Malik Beasley. You got a core of cats that not only could ball, but they're not gonna take no shit, bro.
They ain't pussy.
Like I'm not gonna lie.
On their team.
I'd be scared if I'm the Knicks. I'm not trying to see them in a 3-6,
Might
bro.
get spooky.
Yeah,
spooky.
bro. I am not. That's an upset waiting to happen.
Yeah.
Though Jalen got the ankle that's still fucked.
Yeah. Folks have been saying that too for the last couple months. Like, yo, I don't know if the Knicks want to see the Pistons out of all teams in the first round, because that'd be a very tricky matchup
for sure.
Yeah.
And the Pistons are also a young enough team to where they're naive to what is supposed to be the order of NBA playoff basketball. They're not gonna be like, what's the script? All right, we're just supposed to be happy to be here and just lose and get belt. Nah, bro. Like, we're gonna try to shake some things up. We're gonna take advantage of playing in the Garden, and they're gonna be like, what's a Brunson to us? What's a Cat to us? What's an OG to us? And they're a team that at their best, they got length, they got size.
Yeah.
They got some shooting, they got playmaking.
Can you imagine if they had Jaden Ivey still?
Yeah.
Had he not gone down?
Yeah, people forget that. And JB Bickerstaff, I'll say this too, because like for folks that know, and y'all know, I'm a longtime Cavs fan. And I'm gonna always give Coach JB his flowers for helping restart the road to success for Cleveland when they were asked for a minute. Yep. And that's what JB's best at. If you have a team that is straight up trash and you need a good coach to just get y'all back to being competitive, at the very least, like play in, playoffs, first round, maybe second, he's that type of coach. Yep. So when I saw that he was going to Detroit, I was like, that was a very good move.
Low key, he kind of got Mark Jackson demand. They ain't gonna hold you, man. Kenny Ag looking like Steve Kerr, bro.
Crazy, man.
I was happy
lay out the blueprint for niggas and they're like, all right.
Hey, I'll say this though. JB wasn't utilizing Evan Mobley the way Kenny Atkinson was.
Yeah.
So that's why I was happy about getting Kenny. Because I was like, if he unlocks Evan Mobley, curtains.
All-star season.
Yeah.
Cavs definitely look good. I'm still, and this might be controversial. When it comes to the playoffs, I still don't know if I fully believe in the Cavs yet. But,
understandable.
But I think adding DeAndre Hunter too was huge. He's huge. He's been playing really well.
And it wouldn't be me on any show if I don't shout out the 914. Shout out to Donovan Bishop and Ty Jerome.
Yes, sir.
It's a 914 thing with the way they've been hooping. But the playoffs is going to be interesting. All roads still run through Boston. I'm always give them their respect.
Defending champs.
But I ain't scared of Boston.
Okay. All right.
If they want to run it up, we can run it up.
I like the energy.
But I'm feeling good about the Cavs.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think one thing I do miss in the NBA is like team rivalries. I think nowadays we have like player rivalries like Luka Book or I don't know if I'd even call this a rivalry, more so one guy annoying the other, but Dylan Brooks, LeBron James. But I don't, maybe Lakers Nuggets is a rivalry at this point. I
was going to say Lakers Grizzlies.
Okay, yeah, Lakers Grizzlies too.
I would call that a rivalry.
But I feel like there were more of them when I was younger. I don't know if I'm looking back with rose.
I agree.
No, you're not. Glasses. It's true. I mean, even if we go back to like the early 2010s, like I think back to like Lakers Mavs, Mavs Thunder, Lakers Celtics,
or even Rockets Warriors,
Cavs Warriors, like
Cavs, Celtics.
Cavs
when
Raptors
Brown was there. Cavs Raptors for a minute.
Yeah,
LeBronto.
Yeah, LeBronto. But that's the thing, though, right? Like those type of rivalries, though. Even when you brought up Lakers Nuggets, at times you can also not call it a rivalry if it's one team consistently getting belt.
Yeah, that's the thing.
It's like y'all run into each other.
So that's why.
But you getting belt.
Yeah, so that's why I feel like we don't have them now. Because like Knicks Celtics feels like one too, but Celtics be kind of beating their ass for month. So that's one thing that I do miss. So like, and I know there's so many complaints about the product and too much shooting or lack of defense or whatever the case is, but I mean it's just the era we're in. I kind of just take it for what it is. I do hate all the blowouts though, especially as an avid sports bettor. Blowouts be ruining everything.
A lot of injuries, man.
Yeah.
I just stepped out of retirement for March Madness on the Deuce.
FanDuel, I was doing well.
I'm living vicariously through y'all, man. I haven't touched it. God knows when, bro.
That's good. I'm glad you got off that narcotic.
I was like, man.
I was doing my taxes yesterday. I'm going through my statement. All I saw was FanDuel 10, 10, 10, 10, 10, 10. Nasty, bro.
Committed to the game.
For the love.
Bro, I mean, I'm curious. I'll ask y'all, man. Finals pick.
It's funny. We talked about this last week. We need to know. Mine is. I really do believe the Lakers can make the finals. Like I know OKC is incredible. They're great. I would never take credit away from them. I think. And last week I wanted to correct myself. I was like, do they have that like playoff killer? And I think SGA is that guy.
Different.
But this Lakers team that I've seen, even though we've lost a bit, the last couple weeks, Reeves looks incredible.
Yeah.
LeBron is still LeBron. Luka is who he is. Rui Hachimura stepped it up. Jackson Hayes, I really believe in. Gabe Vincent, I think, is solid enough. Dorian Finney-Smith, like I think we have a really good team. Might be the best roster we've had since we won the title in 2020. So
I would agree.
I really believe the Lakers are coming out the West, and to me, it's still got to be the Celtics. I don't think this path to the title will be as easy as it was for them last year with the Cavs dealing with injuries. Who they play in the second round? Who they play in the second round? Celtics. Oh no! For first round was the Heat.
Yep.
Who had injuries. Second round was the Cavs who had injuries. Pacers had injuries too. So, it was just the unluck of the draw in that situation. And then the Mavs, they just dominated them. But I think, they're going to see them Cavs eventually.
Yeah.
They'll probably see them Knicks. So it's going to be a little tougher, but I still got the Celtics coming out.
Yeah, I would say all bias aside, I would still go Celtics.
Mm-hmm.
Even though I have growing optimism of my Cavs making the finals. But I would still say Celtics.
Mm-hmm.
West is tough. I could see the Lakers. I wouldn't be surprised if the Nuggets made it back.
Hey, man. Jokic. You can't count Jokic out.
Yeah,
this
bro.
This nigga Euro stepping at half court, man.
Bro. and honestly, in the playoffs, bro, Jamal Murray, great playoff performer.
Yep, for sure.
But I'm also going to be lazy and say if it's not my Cavs facing them, I think it'll be the Celtics facing the Thunder.
Okay.
I want to see SGA have a signature playoff run, man.
Yeah.
He can. I just don't want him to have it yet. Like I'm gonna show love to Adam Silver here. For script purposes. I want to see Lakers Cavs. I want to see LeBron go to Cleveland.
I would hate for us to have to bring LeBron to the back.
Man.
I want to see LeBron in Cleveland, especially as he's nearing this
I would hate to have to get LeBron his 7th floor
of an era. I mean, bro, seeing him game 5, game 6, or not even, it would be like game 7 in Cleveland.
Yeah.
That would be kind of nuts, bro.
It's going to kill me that we have to make him 4 and 7.
Adam Silver, come on, bro.
To make them
the
4
script need to be scripting, bro.
There's a few really fun matchups. You can have Lakers Cavs, like you said, Lakers Celtics, just for the history of it. Even like Cavs Nuggets, I think would be a really fun matchup. Celtics Nuggets.
Even Lakers Knicks, man.
I mean, yes. I think a lot of the basketball fandom is hoping that the Knicks can get to that level to where we can have such a historic series, just in terms of the 2 biggest cities. So yeah, man, it's gonna be a fun playoffs. I'm really looking forward to these playoffs. But yeah, man, shout out to the NBA for restoring the feeling, violence on the court. Isaiah Stewart might have a future in WWE.
I believe so.
He's done with,
if it's not that, UFC or turn into a freaking pass rusher.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Be somewhere you could be violent.
Throw my son on a New Day, B.
They need it.
Let's jump into some new music and music entertainment talk. So there was an interview that surfaced over the weekend. I didn't watch it when it first hit the timeline. I've just watched it for the first time today. But Ye, adorned in a black Ku Klux Klan outfit with a Sean John t-shirt under it and a chain, spoke to DJ Akademiks for a little over an hour. He touched on, his beefs with damn near everyone. Playboy Cardi, John Legend, Pusha T, Kim Kardashian, Lucian Grange. He showed Drake some love. Kendrick Lamar. Like, you name it, they got brought up in that interview.
Jim Jones.
Yeah, Jim Jones got cooked. Tough time to be Jim Jones right now. Very, very tough time to be Jim Jones.
If you don't know how to make a PDF file, you got to fix your life.
Yeah. Jim is what we call.
For that, man.
Yeah, like he don't got he an old nigga too.
Yeah,
he was like, you telling me you don't got no young dude in your crew that can make a PDF file?
That's a fact.
Yeah, but it was the most erratic, just the impulsive. I don't want to call it free flowing because Ye is all over the place, but there were definitely some points where I laughed.
Barbados?
Yeah. Oh my god. Yeah. This nigga said John Legend smell like mashed potatoes, and he wears sweaters in August in Barbados. And it's I would never call Ye a sympathetic figure because I think the things that he says, the things he does, like he brings a lot of what he's dealt with onto himself, but. Thinking about like Ty Dolla $ign, who just years ago on his album featuring Ty Dolla $ign said, I told Ye to run for president. Like he was rocking with Ye through everything, and then he denounces his hate speech. I'm like, oh, this is when you denounce him, not when he's wearing the MAGA hat, not when he's did all this other shit. You wait till 2025 to denounce this nigga. Like John Legend got out quick. Pusha T got away in like 2022. Like a lot of niggas saw what was going on, and they got away. So I think the only like qualm that I understand is Ye's issues with Ty Dolla $ign, his issues with Playboy Cardi, which are like I can see both sides there. He and I unfortunately share some opinions about Kendrick Lamar. But you know, for the most part, it was just like it was just a very chaotic watch. Yeah, that's all I got on Ye and Ak, man.
I ain't gonna front. I only watched repeatedly the Jim Jones clip. I ain't gonna lie, that was the only clip I cared about. Because I ain't gonna front. I felt Ye. If I let you get a couple mil off of just taking a meet, and I didn't even ask you for the bread.
Yeah.
But yeah, we trying to do some work, and you couldn't even make a PDF file. Yeah, bro? I ain't gonna front. If I was like, I ain't gonna lie, I'm like, you're cooking right now. I'm like, I would have felt the way too. Yeah. But as soon as I saw him with the Sean John shirt and the chain, I said, I don't know how this got on my timeline, but just get this off. Like,
I mean, not even the Sean John and the chain. He's wearing a black KKK.
And that was after the fact.
That's just nuts. And then hearing like he legit only packs 3 outfits. You know, with the KKK outfit being one, the white people matter joint.
Yeah.
I think what was disturbing to me is, you know, a part of the interview he was talking about his relationship with Kim.
Yes.
And correct me if I'm wrong, but he was saying like he regretted like even just having kids.
He said 2 months into knowing her, he didn't want to have kids with her. So I'm like,
do you still follow through?
I got 4 together,
bro. That and your kids are old enough, especially North and Saint, to watch these interviews, to hear what you're saying.
Yeah.
You know, so like that household is a fucking wreck.
Yeah,
bro. And he is 99% responsible for that.
For sure.
So I just hope, you know, the kids, you know what I'm saying? The internet's a dangerous place, bro. And they go to school.
Yep.
So imagine the type of danger that you're putting them in. And, you know, the one other part about the interview that I thought was interesting was, you know, he kind of admitted that, I'm jealous of Kendrick.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? And we all knew that, but for him to take accountability there, fucking congrats, bro.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
And I think it's tough for him because, as somebody who grew up on Ye, we all have, like I've always said, him and Kendrick are the only dudes to have like an epic first 5-album run that are like undisputedly classics. I know some cats say Mr. Morale, but it's up there. But, you know, I could only defend him for so long and say like there's a genius still left in Kanye when he does fuckheaded shit like this. And then the music hasn't even been good itself. I know cats were trying to tout Bully and say, you know, this is probably a return back to Pablo. There was some semblance of Kanye there, but have any of y'all gone back and played it?
I haven't played it at all, and I have no intentions to.
I haven't listened to really a full Kanye project since Donda. I heard Carnival just because it was a hit. I've heard maybe some features here and there, but I haven't listened to a full Kanye project in years.
And that's the funny thing with Donda, man. Like I said this on the Unfiltered pod last week. It got me upset because if you truncated that project, it was 28 songs, to like a hard 15, you have a classic there.
Right.
You know, so there is some creative genius still there, but you can't back him because of all the antics. That he does, and it's with intentionality that he's doing it.
He was admitting that in the interview. He's like, I'm evil. I'm evil, and like for like the stuff that people tell me that I do that's problematic, I lean into that intentionally to make you upset, to make you feel something. So like he's more aware of what he does than I think people think. And you know, the people that make me laugh the most is like the like rabid Kanye fans who still love his music.
Shout out to Mike Sapp.
And shout out to Mike.
Shout out to the guys.
There's a couple people I can shout out, but they still absolutely love his music, and they'll be like, yo, just ignore his antics, blah, blah, blah. It's like stuff like this you can't ignore.
You can't do that,
like,
bro.
You can't ignore the comments he's making about Jewish people, and like he was constantly referring to the Jews, saying like the Jews sent Kim K at him, and the Jews are controlling Kendrick, the Jews are controlling Playboi Carti. Like this is something that he's like, and he knows how people feel about it, so he continues to say it. And
even him dropping like the F-bomb, bro.
He was using that
like,
shit
dog,
loosely.
I haven't heard
loosely,
like, bro. I'm like, yo, you just give no fucks.
Yeah,
in years.
Bro.
Yeah, I like the homies put it in the chat, the bully joint. Like shout out to Wilson AK from Forsyth. And I was like, I can't play this joint. I'm like, I'm good off, yeah. It just gets to the point where it's like, with him, I can't do the whole separate the person from the artist.
Yeah.
I also just genuinely don't have interest in listening to his music.
Yeah.
Just because what is there interesting about the music?
Yeah.
There's just nothing interesting about the music at this point no more.
I'm not gonna lie though, like it kills me because Bits and Pieces, like Preacher Man, that was the first song off Bully. Production, fucking amazing. And then even when you go to Vultures too, like you listen to 730 and that shit is unfinished. But the potential of that shit.
Yeah.
You know, and you guys, y'all sat in the interview when I did with Montez where I was just like, yo, potential is such a fucking dangerous word, bro.
Facts.
Because when people live in that shit, they dwell in that shit and they don't get out. And you're just sucked in hoping that that person will live up to that potential. So
yeah, that's a fact.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've just haven't tapped in with Ye. And it's just like I said, besides the foolishness, my interest in him has just dwindled. It's like looking at an athlete you grew up watching. It's like, yo, they're washed. Like this, why do I want to watch you play?
Yeah.
You're not watching the highlights though?
No,
y'all not bumping 808s? Y'all not bumping Graduation?
Yo, you know what's so crazy, bro? For me, honestly, because my interest in Ye, just in general, is so low, I can't recall the last time I even listened to Graduation, my favorite album from him.
Yeah.
And there's usually a time, matter of fact, excuse that, times throughout the years where like Graduation is my primary soundtrack in life. 808s is my primary soundtrack in life. I'll just go through that just to, like we say, restore the feeling, to get the motivation again. I haven't, because it's like, I don't know if I want to go down that journey of like, yo, what happened?
Yeah.
Like how? Like how we go from this to that? And it's like, I just don't have interest in him as a person. It's not me. I don't condone, of course, what he says or how he does it. But I also just don't care for him. I look at him the same way I look at Trump. It's like, oh, he's doing what they. All right, whatever,
just completely ignore. Yeah.
It's just whatever at this point, bro.
Yeah,
like,
the listeners know I've been very vocal about how I feel about Kanye. Like, again, I only watched the interview because I got to sign something to do it for work. I would not have been watching that shit otherwise. Again, there were some moments that made me laugh. That, like, you know, broken clock is right twice a day. Like, so there were a couple of things he said that I agreed with, but otherwise, like,
facts.
I'm good off Ye. I can't remember the last time I listened to any of his classics of that 5-album run either. And obviously, the music itself will never change, but the way I look at him changed. And because of that, the way I consume his content has changed to where I really don't consume it at all. So that's just my reality. For those who still love it, who still cling to the production genius in there, happy for you. I'm happy that you enjoy what you enjoy. You know, obviously, it's a waste of time to try to force people to enjoy it the way you enjoy it. And also for the people who like always say, yo, like, seeing Kanye be onto something, he right. Like he right. Like, yo, this nigga knows, like, all these conspiracy theories. Like, hey, you enjoy that too. I'm good. But, you know, it was the talk of the internet. Funny enough, only got to ask like 4 questions because he was just ranting and rambling. Like, he would go from Cardi to Kim K to R. Kelly to back to Drake to just, it was all over the place. Like, just the most
nasty, bro.
At least he's making progress
ever.
in a minute. He's jealous. First it was Drake being jealous, and now Kendrick. All right, champ. Now we're making progress.
Actually,
accountability.
Now, I'll just say that one of the wild parts to me is he said it was hard to watch what Drake went through. I was like, nigga, didn't you get on the Like That remix and say you were engaging in the elimination of Drake and now you feel bad looking back? But his jealousy of Kendrick Lamar, seeing Kendrick rise as a result of dissing Drake the way he did.
Super Bowl performance.
Yeah. And you know, Ye has always wanted that.
Oh,
so he's he said a lot. So if y'all get a chance to watch, you know, definitely let us know in the comments how y'all felt about that.
And look for the Jim Jones clip first. That and then John Legend.
Apparently a part 2's on the way.
Oh, Jesus Christ. Well, hopefully I don't get assigned anything for that.
Me neither.
I don't got it. But some new music. So Definitely a moment that made me feel washed. I was scrolling through the timeline and I saw people saying WTHELLY, and I was like, well, what are they spelling out? And then I saw like WTH. What they say? What the Heliante?
Yeah.
What the Halle Berry? I'm like, what are y'all talking about? So I Google what the Helly, and I see, oh, it's a Rob49 song. Okay, got it. So this is the new thing now. People are making all these funny variations of what the Helly. I always love music that like creates lingo, like lingo that we use in our daily life. Like obviously Drake didn't create More Life, but like we say More Life all the time now just because of that album and him repeating it on songs. Or I'm trying to think what else, like what other lingo has been created through music. I'm having a lapse of memory right now, but there's countless stuff.
Like aura. That kind of been a Hooper thing.
Said in music.
I feel like aura's more from like, at least nowadays.
Like
I feel like it's more
thing?
of a I feel like it's more like a social streaming thing.
Okay.
I just had to laugh because I realized, boy, after Drake said More Life and dropped More Life, boy, that really became my primary happy birthday. Yo, here's More Life, more happiness. That was my bag for like 6 years. And I just got back to saying happy birthday.
Right.
or just dropping the birthday emojis. Keep being great.
Right.
Enjoy your day.
Yeah. But new Rob49, what the hell? How'd y'all feel about the track?
I fuck with it. I fuck with it, man. I think what Rob's been able to do last few years coming out in New Orleans, man, big features, worked with Wayne. Oh, we know about the Travis, Utopia twins, man. And, now it's funny on my way here as I'm like on Instagram scrolling, I'm seeing hella girls and their stories posting the record. So y'all already know once y'all got the chick gravitating, man,
winning.
It's a win, man. And Rob is only what, 26?
He's young. He's young.
Oh man, these YNs, bro. They coming through with fury, man. But nah, I fuck with it, man. Shout out to Rob, bro.
Yeah. Dope record. He's been on a dope run. Like Carl brought it up. Utopia Twins. That was easily one of my favorite records of the year in 2024. Shout out to him for being on the new Cash record, Tripping on a Yacht.
Yeah.
Like I know there's quite a few people at first that was like, yo, what is he doing on the record? I thought he complimented the record really well.
He did well.
And Rob was one of them dudes that you just gotta keep watching. Like really makes dope music, and he too gets it. Like it kind of reminds me of what Pac said back in the day as well, where it's like, yo, like anything that the ladies like, everybody else is gonna like.
Yep.
So the fact that once again you can have all the baddies on the IG stories posting your records, bro, that's gonna play a key part in extending your lifeline in music. And it's a catchy record. Like I was playing it back a couple times. I'm like, I can see it living through the summer.
It's a bounce.
Yeah, I can see it living through the summer. And then I really like him being on the Cash joint because he really did his thing on that too. Plus, that's a New Orleans bounce record. Exactly. So it's only right you got Rob on there.
Yeah. Nah, it's a funny track. It's catchy. And he jumped on Twitter because people were like, people are weird about like fun songs. They're like, yo, what is this? What's he talking about? He's like, it was just meant to be a fun record. Like that's it. You you don't gotta think too hard. I'm like, okay, cool. He's self-aware. He knows that when it's time to be capable of lyricism and substance, like he can do it. So I loved him speaking up for it. I too have seen a lot of women saying it. I just thought it was like something from TikTok at first because I don't really scroll through TikTok much. Like if someone sends me one, I'll watch, but I don't really scroll through stuff. So anytime there's like a trend of something being said a lot and I don't know, I just assume it's TikTok and I'm just old at this point. But no, it's an actual record. So yeah, salute to him for making that. It's catching on. And yeah, I think Rob is cool as well. I've been hip to him for a few years. Most of the stuff I've liked have been like features or working with someone else. Like I don't know how much I can listen to him by himself, but anytime I've seen him standing next to someone, whether it was Utopia Twins, like I brought up, Tripping on a Yacht, the song he had with Cardi B last year, I thought was cool.
Hard. Yeah.
So he's got something. So yeah. Shout out to Rob49 and what the Helly.
The Helly.
What the Helly?
Moving into some R&B. We're talking about OVO sound, but not Drake for now. Naomi Sharon, can we do this Over.
Baby girl.
Yes, we can.
Man.
Yes,
a whole
we
lot
can.
of women.
Yes, we can.
Respectfully, but yeah, it's a beautiful record, man. I love her voice. Like,
Yep.
you know, obviously a lot. Come on, man. Come on, man.
We gotta throw some context.
Yeah,
we gotta
let's do
talk
that,
about
good
the legendary interview.
Yeah.
Facts.
You know, when she came to New York, this is her breakthrough. Obsidian.
One-on-one.
Yeah.
The one-on-one sit down with the legend right here,
Facts.
Mr. Armon Sadler, who hosted the event in front of
man.
OVO, great Mr. Morgan,
Dem
too.
lighting.
Hey, man. You know.
Great night of drinks.
Yeah,
Shout out to
that
Open
was a movie
Bars,
right there,
always.
man.
It was a great time. It was a great time. I was definitely
Got
blessed.
a New York crowd to actually make some noise when he asked for it.
Amen.
I remember
Blessed to do
that.
it, man. Blessed to do it, and she was super cool. Really great interview. If y'all haven't seen it, it's on the Vibe Magazine YouTube. Just search Naomi Sharon Vibe Magazine. We talked for like an hour. We had to cut it down to like a half hour, but I also I have the full one, so maybe I'll bless y'all with the full joint. But yeah, it's crazy. Like I remember I saw the announcement she got signed. I was home one night, I think it was Saturday night, just randomly. I'd played Obsidian, really liked the album.
Yes.
I think she's a really refreshing presence in R&B. She gets a lot of Sade comparisons, which makes a lot of sense. But great voice, great production. Obviously, when you're in that OVO camp, like you have access to the 1985s and everyone, great engineers, all that. And so Obsidian was 2023. She dropped Nothing Sweeter last year.
Yep.
Now we got Can We Do This Over now? And it's just fire.
Time and Trust is still one of my favorite R&B records over the last couple years.
Yeah, Time and Trust is great.
From Obsidian. Like that project was really dope, like you said.
Yep.
Yeah.
But like I still play Time and Trust over and over.
That's
like that
probably-
is such a good record.
Yeah, she's been having
If This Is Love, another dope record, bro. She got stuff.
Yeah.
Been having a good run. Dropped the extended last year.
Obsidian,
Yep.
yeah.
Coming off opening up for Thames.
Yeah.
Yep.
And she was on her own tour too.
Yeah. You know,
I wish I would have caught her on her own tour.
It was dope. It was dope.
the
I saw her
record-
at Baby's All Right. It was a good show.
I love Baby's All Right.
Yeah, that's where all the new cats be coming through and breaking out.
It feels like it's almost like I don't want to say modern SOBs, because SOB still is a thing. A lot
but it's
of
like
niggas perform there.
SOBs for like
Brooklyn.
alternative genres.
Yeah, like R&B
which is
type
true.
shit.
And I mean, it's a conversation for another day. But like New York City music venues, the scene post COVID has changed drastically. Has changed drastically to the point where SOBs is still doing its thing, but you see a lot of artists stopping through Brooklyn. So you have the Baby's All Right. There's a couple of newer venues that have opened up. Brooklyn Steel.
I love Brooklyn Steel.
Williamsburg Music Hall. There's some spots.
Paramount Theater.
Yep.
I love the Paramount too.
Nice too, yeah.
I forgot who I saw at one of them, but I think I had the honor, of seeing. I think I had the honor of seeing Georgia in person over the last couple years.
Oh.
I think she was just at Paramount a couple weeks ago, actually.
Yeah, I saw her. It might have been last year or like the year before, but like I had a chance to see her. But that was really good.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. But yeah, man, she's been working. Like toured last year, open for Thames, like you said, is already back, like dropping music. Like I compare her. I was talking to Nick, who y'all know. We were talking about Giveon. Because Giveon dropped his album in 2022 and then just like disappeared for years. And it was like he was in such a big moment with his 2020 EP. He dropped 2 EPs in 2020.
Chicago Freestyle.
And then obviously Chicago Freestyle. He was on Certified Lover Boy. His 2022 album, was it Take Time? Give or Take?
He had a
one of
joint on
those.
there,
Take Time, I think. Yeah.
And it was like, it was a big moment. Like people were coming up with like an R&B big 3 of him, Brent Faiyaz, and Lucky Day, and then he just disappeared off the face of the earth. And now he's back with 20s, but I don't know how invested people are. And so I think Naomi kind of recognizes like, I just came off tour with Thames, so and like, she posts on social media, she's going viral. Like so people know her, and like I feel like people are still like learning about her album from 2023. Like people come to me about it, like, yo, that Naomi girl you interviewed, like I just hit her album, it was good. I was like, oh yeah. So people are still slowly kind of getting to her, so she's capitalizing on that presence by dropping singles. So I think she's playing it super smart.
Absolutely.
And the conversation is always about like the OVO label and how they don't push their artists well, but they're very like, where you want to go, like we'll support you in whatever you do. So it's about,
I was just about to tap into that as well, because I also feel like Naomi's also right now at least another early success story from OVO, just in terms of sure, they don't do the massive push out or have the mainstream successes like Dreamville with certain artists or like TDE, but for what those artists do, they do it very well and they're making a living.
Yeah.
Like Majid Jordan could tour at any time they want and drop music that is well received, right?
Yeah.
Division, they've had those moments. Heck, even Roy's been outside
a
couple times over the years, and he too.
I saw some features, bro.
Yeah, dropping
he's
features. I've seen him pack out rooms here in New York as well, whether it's listening sessions or shows. And now you have Naomi doing the same thing, and it's like, yo, OVO is where for those artists who, as I like to say, really want to work on their craft and build, and they're really just in it for the music, and there's not really a mainstream label on them. And I like how with Naomi in particular, she's able to do what she's do with the label support and not have to break the glass case of the Drake stimulus yet.
Yeah.
Like I like how Drake hasn't had to provide 2 or 3 R&B tucks in the joint just to get her going. Like, she's going because she's immensely talented and she has really dope stuff. And the fan base is clearly there and is growing.
Yeah, because I've seen people ask like, "Yo, like people thought she was gonna be on some sexy song." I was like, I don't think so.
Yeah,
I don't think so. Like, I think she's really invested in putting in the sweat equity for herself and being like, when people come to me, it's not gonna be because I was on the big Drake record. It's because I'm putting in the work. I have records people are invested in, the time and trust, the push, the regardless, the in another life. Like, she's got records people are invested in. So, it might come a time where like she's super big and the Drake record makes sense and it happens. But I think she's really laying the foundation for herself. So I love that.
I feel like if they could land another dope woman singer and also try to tap in and break like a male singer, because I've always looked at OVO as an R&B label. I've always have looked at OVO as an R&B label, and I feel like, yo, you got an early success story in Naomi. Give it some time, but like try to add another artist like that, and then tap in with like a male singer. Like who I feel like for OVO, get you somebody that's like an Isaiah Falls at OVO. Okay. Get like that type of artist, and I've rocked with Isaiah heavy, or even someone like a Leon Thomas, like that type of artist at OVO. To me, it'll go crazy.
I think I think they have a few success stories, but I do agree in terms of like having a real powerhouse vocalist. I think that's something that would be cool for them. Obviously, Party is who he is. Definitely not the strongest singer, but he has music that people will love forever. Division's run was great. I'm interested in where they go from here. I didn't love that last album, and they've kind of been quiet since then.
It's just the right time for like a new era OVO sound. I think like again, right, when you have Naomi, again, Majid could pop out anytime they want. Roy could pop out whatever time they want. Like, if you just lean into the fact that like, yo, this is just what y'all do best, just go. Because out of all those artists that y'all bring on, someone's gonna pop. Like someone's gonna pop, and like no disrespect when I say this, but like I don't think it's gonna be like a Ari Lennox Dreamville situation where it's like a super talented artist and then there's some conflict or whatever, some mix-ups. Like I do think OVO could be in a position where it's like, yo, we have the talent, they're building, they have their audiences. Someone's going to pop eventually. And I hope so, because again, I really think they're going crazy on the R&B side.
Can I pose y'all this real quick? Better executive amongst the big three. Kendrick's already at the bottom for me, unfortunately. But so I guess it's really between Drake and Cole.
All right, let's look at the success stories within their collectives, because also I think something that people don't talk about, and obviously, like, I mean, it is what it is. I don't think I'm gonna offend anyone, but like OVO has had more than like the people who we named. Like, I remember there was an artist in like 2016 named Plaza who I was listening to. Plaza kind of fell off the face of the earth. They've had a few people that they've signed who really just didn't go anywhere. So I think you got to look at the success stories, but also the people that really didn't pan out. Dreamville, obviously, you've got JID, who's made a name for himself. Boz is like he's not a star, but he's like one of those like.
But he's gonna be around because he's been around for a while now.
He's like one of those cultural faves type people. Loot is another one, like definitely not to the level of Boz or JID, but one of those cultural faves. Earth Gang, who people are really like. So Kaz too, I'd say JID is the biggest success, and Ari, of course, before she ended up departing, but she had 2 albums that people
she's still Dreamville.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh.
On the contract, baby.
Okay. All right. Well,
that shit's ironclad, man.
All right. Well, there it is.
I would give Cole the edge off of the top level of success. But I could see a world where Drake surpasses that, especially if some OVO artists do get some bigger success.
Yeah. I mean, Party has had hands in Rihanna's stuff, Beyonce's stuff. Like, he's written hits, and then he's got just a fan favorite catalog. Prime Division was just one of the best acts we've ever seen. Majid Jordan, even if they're not the biggest in terms of numbers, like they're another like cultural type fave.
They got some modern classics, bro.
Yeah, man, absolutely. I saw their show. It had to be like December 2023. It was amazing. Like they're a really good show. Roy Woods had moments. So it's tough. It's tough. Like I think I don't know.
I mean, you could go either way based on what you value most.
Preference, yeah.
I would go J. Cole, but I don't think it's like by a lot though.
Yeah, right.
I don't think it's by a lot. Like I feel like if Boss would have had actual mainstream success, then I would be like, yeah, that's Cole, because he got 2 artists with actual mainstream success.
Yeah.
But when you just have one, and that was JID, and I think JID's had maybe like a couple of top 10, top 20 records. I know he had the Imagine Dragon joint.
Yeah.
Right. I remember that because I was like, what was it? When I covered Dreamville, I think 2022 for Billboard. I did a story with JID on that, but it's like,
and he got that 21, the surround joint.
Surround joint. It took like a year to pop off.
Yeah, the surround joint. That went viral. Oh, he also had the Stick record.
Stick, yeah.
That wasn't like a charting success, but like that was like a huge internet cultural success.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, I don't know. It's whoever is ahead of the other, it's not a wide gap.
I don't think it's a wide gap.
I'd say that. The listeners will probably expect me to say Drake, just because
we say all that. We say all that to say Kenny. We say all that to say, yo, Kenny, I don't know, do something with like Baby Keem again. We miss Baby Keem out here.
Shout out to Baby Keem.
That nigga's deep in the TDE dungeon. I don't know,
bro. That breaks my heart, D.
I mean, niggas going to Vegas, but maybe I can find them.
Facts, right? We gonna look for. We making some fine Baby Keem signs.
He should be dropping this year.
Maybe.
Not the Waynes.
Speaking of Drake, actually, the NOKIA music video finally dropped. That is, the hottest song in the world right now.
Is it?
What's hotter?
When you say hottest,
it's the hottest song in the world right now. I think it's.
We back, owls up.
This is like the Billboard.
It feels good.
It's starting. But it's number 7 this week.
Number 7, okay.
On the Hot 100. Okay. Luther is still number 1, 6 consecutive weeks.
Shout out to them bots, man.
Shout out to them bots, you feel me?
The bots is botting, baby.
Shout out to that extra payola with the radio.
I think culturally, yes, NOKIA is money right now.
I'm talking about when niggas outside. In terms of charts, Luther's doing his thing. But
I had a convo about that too. I don't know if we want to get into it real quick or at another time, but it's like, is it not weird how for a number 1 song in Luther, which is a really good record, by the way, don't want people to think I don't think it's a really good record. I love the record. But it's like, I can't recall a number 1 record like Luther that for me personally, I have close to no times have heard it outside.
Yeah, and it's not necessarily an outside song either. But
it's like, and I'm someone that prides myself in like, I'm outside.
Yeah.
Different environments, different people.
Yeah.
It's like, yo, I haven't heard this joint, not even during the part that we could all sing.
Yeah.
Versus the other songs in the charts, we could hear some Sabrina Carpenter like right now.
Yeah,
like
absolutely.
We could hear these different. I'm like, not once. And Luther had a moment where it was going crazy on social.
Yeah.
I'm like, I don't see it while scrolling. I'm not hearing it outside.
But you know what it is too? It's like, because now majority of the streams are just coming through cats.
People listening
on
headphones.
Yeah.
So streams still play like a huge part of it. I mean, radio takes a slice of it.
I was gonna say that too. Yeah.
You know, but when it comes to streaming itself, it's just cats playing it in they headphones.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, it's different, but it reminds me of all the times when like a song by a white artist was #1. I was like, yo, I've never heard this. I'm like, well, maybe I'm not, you know, I'm not the demographic, and two, I may not be the places where the song is heard. Like, of course, you know, I do believe there might be some funny business happening, but I do know people.
You're not the only one.
People do love Luther. Like, people do genuinely love Luther. Like, I was at my boy's crib this weekend. I played it, and like all the girls started singing. So I was like, okay,
it's an amazing record.
Like,
it's an amazing record.
Something that some people do like.
Yeah.
And
but I will, to that point, I will say, if you told me it was 6 weeks at #1,
crazy.
I would kind of be like, word.
Yeah.
Crazy.
Potentially hitting 7,
Crazy.
It's insane. But the NOKIA music video is out. It originally came out on the Plot Twist page, got taken down. Now it's on Drake's main page on YouTube.
I like the way he thinks.
Yeah. But how'd y'all feel about the video?
I have theories, bro. I'm gonna get straight into it, man. Bro, upon watching the video during the first watch, bro, that whole video is a diss to Kendrick. Straight up.
Let's hear it.
That whole video is a diss to Kendrick. To me, how it's shot in the black and white with the IMAX is like, that to me is an immediate shot to Kendrick and Dave Free, who people have been championing for what they've done with the music videos and the playing it out. Right? You add the little edge of IMAX. Well, y'all videos haven't been shot at IMAX. I think back to, I'm probably gonna say my reasons not in order. Apologies, listeners and viewers. I think back to the last shot of the video, which are the 6 owls on top of what seems to be a phone tower. The last shot of the Not Like Us video was an owl caged in. Yeah. So when you have the owls on top of the phone tower, 6 of them, by the way, that's not a coincidence. That's a shot of Drake being like, yo, I'm free. And you think about one of the lines from The Heart Part 6, yo, I got all your lines tapped in, I'm dialed in, right? So you got that going on. All right. Kendrick, you have DeMar DeRozan. Cool story, bro. I got Shay in the video with his own kicks in the video. And of course, Shay, right? Likely MVP winner. So you start thinking about that. And then you also just think back to the fact that, again, throughout the whole video, right, there's different things with the women dancing and how that's set up, right? If you're Kendrick, a big part of Kendrick's disses to Drake, right? Drake's relationships, in his opinion, with women, right? You've had women choreographers and Not Like Us and Squabble Up. I'm gonna do the same thing in my video. This is a reach, but like, I think about the black and white, once again, shot right. You talk about you don't like the woman I like. I told you on Family Matters. I've been with black and white and everything that's in between. I just think in general, again, especially with that last shot, and there was another shot in the video where it seemed to be a guy ironing something with the same cover. And the cage or whatever it was looked like a chrome heart cage.
Yeah.
And I
Chrome Hearts mask.
Yeah.
Drake was wearing custom Chrome Hearts.
And I think, once again, to Not Like Us, Kendrick or whoever it was doing the same thing or putting together a cage, and it shows the owl at the end. But again, at the end of the video, it's 6 owls on top of something outside. What looks like a phone tower, right? Could also just be a play to NOKIA with the phone.
Yeah.
I watched it upon the first listen. I swear to God, John. I was like, this is a Kendrick diss. This whole video is a Kendrick diss.
So,
but I do think the video is fire, though. But I think it was a Kendrick diss.
I appreciate that was a real thorough analysis. I'm just gonna say it was mid. You know, I think he's in a position where he needs to, and you know, I think the record itself, him going #1 with Party, him having a potential top 5 record with NOKIA, I think he's at a place where he's rebuilding, and I think the video could have been really, I mean, regardless, he's Drake, he's going to get views, but I really think the video could have elevated where he's at even more in this, you know, whole situation with Kendrick. I think a lot of people were expecting like an 80s type video.
Yeah.
Like, I can't tell you, like, maybe it was a shot to Kendrick. I can't tell you what the video was really about, you know, and I think that was a failed opportunity where he could have potentially, because this is a guy who has a hallmark for making fire videos, whether it's God's Plan, whether it's In My Feelings. I'm thinking about even, what was was it from Her Loss? He did even You Broke My Heart shit with Morgan Wallen.
Yeah.
Morgan Wallen I thought was dope. Like, this was just, like, I probably won't watch it again, you know, but I think in a time where we're talking about streams, a huge chunk, especially when you drop a video like that, it's going to be so many eyes. You want to have that replay value. I don't know if it's going to be there with this video. So I kind of feel like that was a missed attempt on his part to really, really capitalize on the success of the record.
Yeah, I watched it once. It definitely was not what I expected. I expected to be some like super fun, quirky shit, like kind of like what he did with like No Guidance, where he makes a long ass video that's almost like a Saturday Night Live skit where there's funny stuff,
way too sexy,
cool stuff,
that was
like
a fun video,
all that. Like, so it definitely caught me off guard in terms of what it was. I thought, some cool visuals. I liked the color scheme. I thought the choreography that was there was cool. It didn't like blow me away. I did catch some of the internet chatter. A lot of people were disappointed that they thought it would be something fun, something more, energetic. Saw some people calling it regular. And I think that's also just Drake. Like when Drake drops anything, there's a myriad of reactions and people's expectations are sky high. And if he doesn't meet them, then, you call it mid. So I got to give it another look. I did see some of those theories you were talking about as well. Like some people caught them immediately. I wasn't necessarily looking for that, so it didn't like jump out at me. But so some of them, now that I think back on certain like frames and shots, I'm like, okay, I can see where that is. So I got to go back to it. I'm not gonna call it ass. I'm not gonna call it super fire. Like I thought it was cool.
That's an OVO bias, and I'm an OVO stan, bro. Like we just got to call a spade for what it is.
I mean, I have and I talked about this last week with them, but like when I feel conviction in a certain feeling, I have no problem saying like, oh, I didn't like that.
Yeah, I'm very.
I love that.
I'll say this, like, it's not like I hate it. I'm just indifferent. I'm just like, okay,
that's essentially almost where I'm at too. Like I didn't have enough time to necessarily process it. I like my first watch wasn't to like critique it. It was really just to see it, like just to see it. So I'm definitely gonna go back and check it out.
For me, it was very much like, because I'm someone that's usually when I'm watching stuff, I'm not always I'm just here to catch the clues. It's the same with the music, but I felt like it was so evident that as I'm watching a video, halfway through, I'm like, where have I seen this before? Like, that's the feeling I kept getting. I'm like, at the point, it was like, it's bugging me. I'm like, I've seen certain cues. I'm seeing the vibe. Because I, too, was like, yo, this is supposed to be a funny-ass video. Drake about to give us another decade worth of memes. Like, it's up. Yeah. Like, I'm thinking it's going to be vibrant.
Especially in the beginning, because he was dancing a little bit. Yeah,
so I'm thinking, okay. Moving.
Yeah, like, I'm thinking it's like that. But it just felt like as I'm watching the video, and then as I'm watching it again, I'm like, nah, this is a diss. Like, you just start realizing, like, oh, that's intentional.
But that gets me upset, because, at this point, bro, it's over, man. Like, let's just move away.
Is it over, though?
It is, bro. It is, bro. The fact that Not Like Us is still in the top 10 for 27 weeks is fucking crazy to me, bro. We're about to hit May. About to hit a year, bro. Where the record came out. It's over, bro.
I'm not asking if the battle is over. More so, just like
his contempt is still going to be there. I get that.
Kendrick's always going to take shots at him too.
Of course,
he's been quiet since the Super Bowl, but he's performing Not Like Us on that tour. So we're going to see endless clips of that.
It's the sore winner versus sore loser.
But this is where like you got to be able to prioritize and put things in different buckets. Again, this is your first hit post feud. I'm putting all of my attention to maximizing this video, knowing that people are clamoring for it. I'm still upset. Like, Party's not even in the fucking video. I'm still upset that this is a Drake record. I'm happy that it took off for him, but this was supposed to be a joint project with Party.
And the two biggest songs are solo
Drake records.
You know what I hope they do a video for? Die Trying.
Bro, I don't even think nothing's gonna get a video treatment.
I think there's gonna be two songs that get a video treatment. Obviously, one is already out with Nokia. To me, they have to do something with "Give Me a Hug."
I think that shit may have passed, bro.
I feel like they're missing out because where's "Give Me a Hug" on the charts? Is it like top 50, top 40?
I think there's only 4 songs left right now on the charts, including
"Give Me a Hug" is one,
Nokia.
"Die Trying" is one, "Nokia" is the hit. To me, it's like, yo, you could do something with "Give Me a Hug" still. And also Die Trying. I think Die Trying could be a sleeper with the right video.
Fantastic record.
Yeah,
either
fantastic
that or maybe
record.
Somebody Loves Me.
I was going to say Somebody Loves Me because that's the cult hit right now.
I was to say, that is the cult hit.
That's the one.
You owe it to Party, man.
That's the one.
Put shit. He was still part of the album too, bro.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Or let Party get his own video. Do something for Deeper.
I feel like Party is just like so generous, like, and maybe almost generous to a fault. in this scenario, because I was just talking to my boy about it, and it's like been a narrative a lot of people felt, and we also talked about this last week, but a lot of people feel like Party didn't have enough of a presence on the album.
Absolutely.
My counter to that was like, I feel like the album is more Party sound than Drake sound, and I think the moments Party does have like are big ones. Like I think he's the best part of Die Tryin'. He's the best part of Meet Your Padre. Somebody Loves Me feels more like his record.
Bro.
I know.
Yo,
we gonna get your mind
you
changed,
wildin', bro. You gotta get out of here. But
y'all the only niggas that don't bump in that shit.
That's a great record, bro. I heard it outside. My hips started moving.
Facts, bro.
My nigga felt my shit started swaying, bro.
Facts.
Pain
Bro.
for Fiesta next door. But
get you a Latina in front of you, your mind changes with that.
One thing I will give him,
my God.
I'll give him credit for this.
And this is Drake or Party?
Drake.
Okay.
He doesn't do what people expect from him, like, or want from him. Like he'll kind of challenge his fans, the casuals. People have been asking for a solo rap album for his whole career. He still hasn't done it yet. He gave niggas a house album before he did a solo rap album. With this video, we expect it to be some like skate party type shit, and actually there were chicks who were roller skating in the video, but it wasn't what people expected, and you know I believe that there is some intention to that, so it's just a matter of how it plays out. But yeah, I thought the video was fine. Thought it was interesting. I do gotta watch it some more, have some more time to process and engage with it, and we'll see. But
I have a question for the room. When it comes to Drake and the pure rap album, is that something that he really needs to do?
No.
No.
I'm about to say, because I think back to, because for the folks who say that still, I'm like, think about what you got after For All the Dogs.
Yeah, the little 6-pack.
Yeah,
you got a 6-pack of raps.
You got the whole side A of Scorpion.
You had all of that,
you
like
can just make a whole playlist of like B-side Drake records,
and it was dope. Y'all called it dope. And then it came and went, and it's just not what he does. It's like that's not the music that sticks. That's not the stuff that builds upon.
It's kind of like what
want he does.
LeBron to be Mike, be that dog. That
it's like
killer,
the dudes who enjoyed. It's like the dudes who was like, "Yo, what was your favorite finals watching Bron in the 2015 finals against the Warriors? Why? Because he had to take every shot." And it didn't matter. And it's like, I'm happy y'all enjoyed it because you grew up on Mike and Cole. But for the rest of us, we like playmaking Bron. We like, sure, if Bron could get 30, 40, great. But we love when he's on triple-double alert. We love when he's shooting efficiently. Like, not everybody wants to see him get 40, but it took him 35 shots to get it.
Right. Am I the only one who thought this about like the song itself, Nokia? Like, I kind of felt like, especially the second half, it gives like Kanye Stronger vibes.
A little bit, especially with the beat build.
Yeah, from the production standpoint.
The vocal sample.
Especially with the beat build.
Yeah,
I could definitely see where you're going with that. I can see where you're going with that.
Especially with the beat build.
To a degree,
But I think, I'll say in general though, like, I will say to me, no, this might be controversial. I think Nokia is the first Drake hit that his entire career he truly needed, given the circumstances.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I would say the other hits he's had, and y'all know, but like, it's great that he got them, but I wouldn't say he needed them.
Yeah, because I don't think he was ever in a dire situation.
Yeah, like Nokia, for me, Nokia is what puts together this whole project. As a fan, like, I love the whole project. We going on nearly 2 months. It's still in my rotation every day from front to, from top to bottom, bottom to top.
Yeah.
But there's something about Nokia. I haven't been this happy with a Drake hit in years.
It's been a while.
Like I'm talking happy. Like every time I hear this, I get genuinely happy to rap and dance to it.
Yeah.
And that's not to say I didn't like the other massive Drake hits, but like I probably got to go back to 2018, to me his greatest year, when it was like God's Plan, Nice for What, In My Feelings, where he gave us them joints where every time I heard it, I gotta rap and dance every time, bro.
Yeah.
Nokia is restoring that feeling.
Nah, it's been a minute. I would probably say like Laugh Now, Cry Later.
That's what I played that on my way
here. But we couldn't fully experience that one outside. That was like August 2020.
That one too was like a very happy, like you was happy to hear that record.
Talk shit record.
Yeah, but like, it's been a minute. So I'll say, he needed this badly.
For sure.
Absolutely needed that badly.
Yeah. So it was good to see him deliver on that. We'll see how things play out. I mean, it's still within the top 4 of the Billboard 200. So that's good. Yeah, the album. Yeah, it's still Still top 4.
Kudos, man.
Yeah,
you know,
because a lot of shit be falling off quickly. All these niggas doing bundles. They number one, and they not there no more.
I think cats got to realize, man. You know, with this being the first video for the project for that album to sustain without a real push, it's just now NOKIA is getting radio push.
Yep.
You know, so that says a lot about cats thinking Drake is washed. Cats ain't checking for him. So to your point, him still staying in the top 5 with no kind of push up until now and dropping this video now says he's still very much relevant.
Yeah, Give Me a Hug actually hit number 1 on I think Urban Radio.
Yeah, like Urban Radio. Yep.
Yeah,
that too.
Yeah, so salute to that. Real quick, fellas.
Owls up.
Yeah, salute, big Sixers. Real quick, I want to ask y'all a new artist you've been listening to lately that you rock with.
Yeah,
you want to go first?
Yeah. The shorty man, Larissa Lambert, man. I got hip to her honestly through my boy. He had posted her record on Instagram, like he was using it for like some video he posted, and it's called 9 to 5. And she sampled Craig David's 7 Days.
Okay,
we like that.
And you already know I'm a Craig David stan.
Yep.
So when I heard it, it was like the beat, everything, like the tempo was just like fast and quick, and her voice just was sharp.
Yep.
And I was like, all right, dope. And then she just recently, I forget the name of the record. I think it's I forget, but she just sampled Fab's Really Wanna Be With You, but I can't. Can't leave him alone.
Yeah, leave him alone. Yeah, leave him alone.
She just sampled that joint, fucking fuego, and then she did a cover to the Pimmy joint off obviously the Drake and Party record, and she was been getting a shit ton of cosigns just off the cover alone. Like SZA gave her a cosign, Justin Bieber gave her a cosign. So, you know, she's definitely on the way up. She's somebody we spoke about internally in the office about potential rookie of the month.
Okay.
I've been talking to her manager here and there. Like, I think she has something special. So when she hits the States, definitely be on the lookout for her. But she's definitely a beast.
Tough.
I'll tap in for sure.
I really like, for me, it's 2 artists. Speaking of TikTok, I like this dude named Saint Lamarre.
Okay.
He's, I think, they call one of the young kings of like YN R&B. So it's like this like upcoming genre of like, you know, the YNs remixing the R&B classics. So he got a joint
violent as fuck.
Yeah, but it's so good. He got a joint called "Bust at You," which I think is a remix of a. To me, it's like he remixed it. It's called like Drake goes ooh ARs too.
I saw that.
Bro. YN R&B, bro. I went down a rabbit hole of YN R&B. Them youngins got it. We need to lock in.
We must pray for the YNs.
Bro, I love it. Sing your heart out, champ.
Yeah.
But another joint I like, and this might be like a little what the hell. I like Georgiana.
Okay.
I like Georgiana. Like besides the record, I did a little vlog last night on my page, and she got an unreleased joint that's like a little more mellow and introspective, but goes crazy. And I watched, you know, shout out to the good brother Jordan Rose. Like I saw that he interviewed her for Complex.
Yeah.
And she's like, I know this might sound effed up, but like she's like really smart. She broke down the process behind like how she handles signing with a label. And like it's just like, yo, it's really dope that like she really took time, you know, looking at her options, evaluating the situation. You know, the record that folks know, the record got Glorilla, you know, on the remix.
Yeah.
And shout out to Big Glow too, by the way. I saw her at Hammerstein like the other week. She had a really dope show here in New York. But like, yeah, I like Georgiana and I like Saint Lamarre.
Okay.
Georgie's dope, man. She dropped that new record, the Wok Sauce.
Yeah, Wok Sauce. Yeah.
That sounds hard.
Yep.
Yeah, and I think doing a thing.
Yeah, put me on. I'm gonna have to tap into both of them. Let's jump on our Patreon real quick. This is again, so listeners, if you want to hear this upcoming segment, patreon.com/staybusypod. We're gonna transition back to public. So listeners, if you're not subscribed to Patreon, you missed us doing a fun One Gotta Go. You missed us talking about our best press trip experiences and the worst interviews that we've ever done. And we got some good stories in those worst interviews we've ever done. So subscribe to patreon.com/staybusypod to lock in with that. We are running a little low on time, so I'm just going to slide real quick to our board meeting portion of the show. I've interviewed you both on the show before. Your resumes are well documented. Like, if y'all don't know what Carl Lamarre, the legend, has done, then you slack. And Arden goes viral damn near every other week. So if you don't see what Arden is up to, that's on you. Jump in and do that. But really, like, I want to ask like more personal stuff. Like, both of you have been in the game longer than me and for a significant period of time. Like, have you found it difficult to still feel gratified by the work that we do? Do you ever have moments of like, damn, I want to pivot, or maybe I feel like I've done everything there is to do? Like, just where are y'all at in terms of fulfillment in your careers?
I would say I used to have those moments, but I think it goes both ways. I would say before I finally had like my breakthrough over the last few years, the difficulty used to be like, damn, will I ever break through?
Mm-hmm.
To the point where I used to face the music and be like, yo, there might be a time where I might have to hang up my sneaks and like realize like, yo, the childhood dream wasn't meant to be lived out. Let me just get the 9 to 5. Let me just live my life. And I would say post breakthrough, the struggles came in like, yo, can I get the recognition I deserve? You know, can I get the recognition I deserve to get a bigger bag? Can I get my props for covering certain things and being among the first to cover it, instead of like the new wave of people covering something and they get the props and praise?
Yeah.
But I would say for me over the last year, and especially this year, I've been more focused on just me and me being happy with the work I've been doing. And like a big model for me this year has been like building my own tables. You can sit with me if you want to or not, but like I'm not looking for the invite to sit at anybody else's table. I'm not looking for the gratification that you want to give me. I'm at the point now, again, like nearly 16 years in, I know you see me. Like I know you know what I do. Like you know what's going on. You know what type of time I'm on. So for me, I'm just more so inspired by doing what I do for the love of the game. And I know we say it all the time jokingly, like, oh, for the love of the game. But like, nah, like I'm inspired again. And I feel like the older you get and the longer you stay in the game, those moments where you're truly inspired comes very, very few and in between. We're so used to doing what we're doing that we're like at times like emotionless machines. Like we could do what we do. But those moments where you're inspired, where like, yo, I love to write, I love to pod, I love to create content, I love to create events, I love to meet with people. When you're inspired, it brings back that same feeling I had when I started this journey 16 years ago. Where at this point, this is about talking about the things that I love. So I would say, yeah, those moments did happen, but now I'm at a place where the gratitude comes from within, and the fact that I love what I do, and like I know success comes in many different ways, and it's also just the realization of like, folks know what's going on with me. Like I don't gotta tell you twice. You've seen what I've done.
I very similar in terms of like fighting to be recognized. But I've told you guys both this. I think I'm at a stage in my career where I find gratification in helping others win and succeed. And, I think now I'm at a stage in my career, where fortunately enough, like, I have enough experience where I can provide tutelage to cats on my team, where now I'm like pretty much cemented as the leader, and I it's interesting. Like I'll give y'all a little tea, not even tea, but shout out to my good brother Mackenzie Cummings Grading. He
Good dude.
Fire dude. He's team Billboard officially.
Nice.
First day tomorrow.
Nice.
And he had an interesting story, man. Like in terms of he had just gotten married, and then he got laid off at XXL, and I had given him some freelance opportunities, and I remember telling him, I'm like, yo, bro, I'm gonna find a way to bring you in. And that was December. And, we were able to bring him in on a 2-day capacity, and he was busting his ass to where within those 2 days, they were like, yo, we're bringing him in for real, for real. I enjoy seeing cats who bust their ass get a seat at the table. Like, Mike Sapp, Lord Tree Sapp, one of the biggest trolls that I know, is one of also
hard worker,
the
man.
hardest
My
working.
914 brethren.
Bro, he's one of the hardest working cats in the room.
Yeah.
I am not ashamed of saying this. My career might not be where it's at if I didn't have that kid next to me.
Right.
Because there's so many things behind the scenes. Yo, a lot of my cover stories, if not 80 to 90% of them, he transcribed those. And I would pay him, and I'd be like, yo, Sap, man, I got so much shit to do, but if you can knock this out. And originally he would do shit for free, but then I was like, you're putting in hard labor, bro. We got to get you paid. And shout out to Regina Cho as well. Miss Need to Know, because she would also be in a situation where she was transcribing my shit. And these are all bona fide superstars. Seeing you guys grow and be bona fide superstars, like that shit makes me fucking smile. Because we're in an industry now where a lot of this shit is self-serving. You know what I'm saying? It's what about me? I don't get joy off seeing that. If I stop today, I'm very happy and content with my career. But now it's about, like how you always say, like paying it forward, man, and pushing cats to that next level to see where this shit can go. Because when we go, it's all about who's going to be next to carry that throne.
No, absolutely.
And that mantle.
Yeah, one of the things I enjoy the most, literally the other day, someone from Syracuse grad school, Syracuse Communications grad school, so Newhouse, where Didier went, this girl, like, through some database, found me, emailed me, wanted to set up a conversation. We talked for like a good 30 minutes, and it feels really good to pass on game, to give insight, to give advice. Like, you know, I'm a few years younger than you, but I still feel like the things that I've accomplished, one, I didn't see for myself years ago. And so I feel very secure in that. And there's still a lot that I want to do, but I feel like I'm kind of already at the point where I do want to help usher in the next generation of people, because I don't necessarily feel like that happened with me when I was taking those first couple steps to come up. There was, I talk about it a lot. There were some people that, you know, if I see them at an event now, it's, yo, what's good? But like, you know,
them niggas were gatekeepers to start, bro.
Man.
I hate them niggas.
I was DMing them asking like, yo, do you mind reading this piece over for me just to give me some pointers? Or, oh, like, I would love an opportunity for this, that, and third, blah, 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 leaving me on red. Leaving me, and then like all of a sudden I go viral for something. They follow me. They're bigging me up on the timeline. And it's like, you know, I don't take it personal, because I know for some people, they won't co-sign you till they see other people co-signing you. That's whack. That's not something that I do. I like to show love at all levels. If something is good, it's good. It's not a matter of the visibility that it has. But yeah, that's really gratifying for me too. Like, there's still some big things I want to accomplish. I'm working on some big things for this year, but I do also really love to pay it forward and to put people on. Because, you know, that good karma comes back around to you. And I don't want to sound like I do it for selfish reasons. Like, oh, I'm helping someone so they can help me. I'm helping someone because I want to see this journalism space be better.
Absolutely.
And also, if there comes a point where I do need a helping hand, like, hopefully I've built good enough relationships to where there's people that I can go to, and that will be willing to help me out. So
people forget, just as fast as you enter the game is honestly faster when you leave it.
Yeah,
absolutely.
Man. Yeah.
And, you know, you gotta embrace that reality of the situation. Like, whether you're someone who's just starting, you're in your prime, or you're at the end, you gotta realize ultimately there's new players that enter the game. So you gotta be willing to pass on that advice. And I resonate with y'all, like, on that, because that's how I feel. For me, the most fun I have is talking to the youth, giving that game. You know, like, I'm in my full big bro, or based on who you're talking to, unk stage, man. Like, I like giving on the game to my young fellas, my young ladies, my champs, as I call them. You know, I like hearing my mentees rant about whatever it is they have going on. Like, I love that stuff, man. Because again, like, I didn't have that. I started my career so early, and I started my career at a time in the industry where it was way older. So folks didn't know what it meant to help a young professional, especially one who didn't go the traditional route of, oh, I went to college and got my internship, and I came from a single parent household in the inner city, knew this was something I wanted to do, and I went about it that way. So, hey, I'm a big believer in the fact that, like, we saw the conditions the game was in when we entered. We got to make sure we leave it in better conditions when we leave. Like, I'm just a big believer in that.
For sure.
I think, put a bow on this real quick. For me, just from like a solo standpoint, I think one of the most gratifying moments, and this is no cap, honestly, was when we were all at Mania together. You know what I'm saying? Like, I think for me, being able to be with my guys, be able to be with my brother, and I'm like, we're all in the same room, killing it respectively. Because I'll be real with y'all, like, half of the reason why I enjoy watching wrestling It's because I get to talk shit with y'all niggas.
Yeah, we talk multiple times a week about this shit.
You know what I'm saying? Like, it probably wouldn't have been as gratifying or as fun if I was just watching it myself.
Yeah.
But being able to talk shop with you guys
Sure.
and hold a fire conversation, that's what makes it that much rewarding.
And the chat used to get heated too.
Oh my God.
We used to go at it.
Freaking God, bro.
Nasty,
Shout out
bro.
to Mark, man.
Shout out to Mark,
my
bro.
dog Mark is good, but we used to go at it.
Nah. Cause you know what funny, bro? Like, cause Mark used to shit on me when I used to say Jay Uso was that nigga.
I remember
Niggas
that.
ain't see the video like man, that Oos, B.
I remember that.
Come on, man.
The moments we've had in person, like
Yeah.
when we were all watching together for when Punk returned.
We've seen some legendary
special, bro.
shit. But no, I agree. It's and it's been great to see what y'all have been able to do. Like your time at Fanatics, WWE world.
crazy.
Like this nigga Arden was just walking around looking.
I should have said, man.
He was looking so proud of his creation,
bro.
shit like that. And obviously, like your interviews with Cody Rhodes and Liv Morgan and Jey Uso, and obviously everything I've done. Like, yeah, bro, I'm not ashamed to admit, like when I got that email from WWE about like getting invited to WrestleMania, like I was crying.
I was
really
too, bro. That's real tears.
cried because I remember begging my dad to order WrestleMania 20. I think it costed like $55 on a DirecTV or something. And he ordered it for me, and then Great American Bash he ordered for me. But
that's
like
hard.
the concept of going to a show, I never even thought to ask my parents to take me to a show because I just never thought they would do it. And so to see the work that I've done get me to that point where I can be, you know, tied in with WWE, interviewing people, you know, as much as I have, going to shows, like, you know, the convenience of not having to factor in, if I fly to Detroit for this show, I don't got to pay for the ticket. Thank God, like stuff like that. It's amazing.
I hate to extend this because I know we're running super tight on time. Yeah. Two quick things. I remember the chat when it was confirmed that we were all going.
Yeah.
I remember, Carl, you let out a "let's go" via the voice memo.
We all just sent screenshot after screenshot. The same email. Same email, just different name.
Bro, I remember that. And then the Cody Rhodes interview is always gonna be funny because, bro, the question Carl had, like, "Yo, how you feel about the black community?"
that was for the culture, bro.
How you feel about the black community,
bro?
Cody's like, calling you Raheem, and Cody's like, just don't want to. I just don't want to disappoint him. I just want to disappoint him. My father was loved.
But even that, right? Like, I hope cats watching this understand, man. Like, everybody can eat. Everybody can eat at the same table, win and thrive. You know what I'm saying? I think that's what makes this brotherhood so special, man. Like, we all want to see each other win. We celebrate each other's wins. And we know that there's more to come, and we're just going to keep championing each other.
For sure.
You know what I'm saying? So I love that.
I've never said it on a public platform, but like, I didn't even realize Greg. Shout out to Greg. Like, we all love him.
Yeah.
If you know about Greg, but like
OTC Greg.
He and I were following each other on Twitter for a while, but you put me in contact with him. So summer 2023, when I interviewed LA, Damian Priest, Drew, Ricochet, Trish, Jay Cargill, Mello.
Armon dropped 50.
That was because Carl was willing to put me on with Greg, and then I learned, oh shit, we follow each other already. But it didn't connect with me. So yeah, Carl put me on, and like we were eating at the same time and going to the same shows and all that.
Bro.
And also you put other people on with Greg too. So it was just like
I could second that. Bro. Yeah.
This is what happens. Like when you're not in this space, you do have to have a level of competitiveness and like getting yours, but you put people on, like you get that joy out of seeing them thrive too. So it's like whenever Carl writes a dope article or interviews somebody dope, I'm hyped. Whenever Arden meets up with a wrestler in person, posts a video, like I'm happy for him. Whenever Mark gets an interview and does what he does, I'm happy for him too. Like that's what it is, and we need more of this. And less of that shit where people just completely gatekeep and don't share any information at all and only want to take shit for themselves because eventually like that selfishness just comes back around and bites you. So
bro, I legit screamed when the Let's Go when I saw that Yanaya shit hit Wrestlemania. Bro, like I watch Wrestlemania every day, bro. I didn't realize how popping they are. And when his shit hit, I was like, yo, when Mark shit, I think this is when he interviewed Bianca or Jade. And you know how like they put all the media platforms on Smack? Bro, I sent him, I was like, yo, you know what I'm saying? So shit like that, bro. Like when everybody can eat together, it's a win.
Yeah, and that's it. So thankful to these guys, man. Like, you know, met them at I met Carl first. I met you 2019 at the Billboard office.
I still
when you interviewed BJ Chicago Kid.
Like classic.
Yeah,
that was the Billboard news interview. I remember. Yeah.
And you know, it took us some time to get to where we at now, but I'm thankful for the support, the love, all that. Arden, like pandemic times, just grinding, just trying to create whatever, and then we ended up connecting. Did a show together. The commission. Yeah. I ain't shout out Foresight before. Shout out to Foresight Network.
Appreciate you.
Great people over there. Great work over there. But yeah, very thankful for this brotherhood. Like whether we're doing work, whether we're watching wrestling, whether we're talking shit, like it's something that I need to get away from the madness of journalism and life sometimes.
Our claws connoisseur, man. We know
bro. He blessing the crib, man.
Always. I'll be back soon. Definitely got to restock. Definitely got to restock. But obviously, since we run out of time, we're not going to play our slide deck this week, but we will share the songs that we picked. So my song for this week that I want y'all to go listen to is Rain's One Day at a Time. That's from It's Up Forever, the project that I talked about last week with Need to Know podcast. What are the songs for the slide deck this week that y'all would have played if we had time to play them?
Go ahead.
I really like that Just Me record by Jack Harlow and Doja Cat.
Just Us,
Just Us,
Shit out of them, bro.
Yeah, I really like that record.
Cooked on that.
It's a good joint. That's a good joint. Yeah, we talked about that last week too. Like it's a good joint. I like it. It's growing on me. It's growing on me. At first I was kind of but it's definitely a grower. Definitely a grower.
I need cats to like start respecting Jack, man. Like
Jack went on a nice run.
Hate Train is crazy, bro.
Yeah. I don't know. I feel like he's harmless, but still to this day, the white rapper thing will always kind of be a roadblock for people.
I don't know how they don't hear Tranquility and think he's not one of them.
He was rapping.
He was barring up.
He was rapping.
He was barring up for sure.
Even Miss Johnson, I like that record too.
I like that one a lot. That's smooth.
Damn, you think
that's not rolling?
Yeah, I mean the first half, bro.
So you got a problem with records that have a little Latin influence to them.
Yeah, we gonna do that, bro.
Carl Lamarre hates Latin.
Clip this.
I gotta say. Meanwhile, all my exes, shit. Nah, you know what's crazy? I actually like that Jack record. It had like the fake Katra vibe on it.
Which one?
It was a joint that dropped before the Just Us record.
Okay,
Was it
had a little?
I think I know what you're talking about.
Had a little dance vibe to
Set
it.
You Free?
Set You Free.
I like Set You Free as well.
Set You Free was a little bop. Niggas were trying to hate on me in the office for liking that record, but nah, Missionary Jack, bro. Cats be sleeping on him. First album, double platinum. Second album, platinum. He has 3 #1 records.
Yep.
You don't see a cat with that kind of resume this early in the game. So shout out to Jack.
Return to Form with Jack, man. That was a really dope project.
Bro. Great work on there. Yeah, for sure. What was you gonna play for us,
oh,
Carl?
Man, you know I was hyped when I sent my pick over this morning. Shout out to Bow Weezy, Prince of the Old Town. Just got the wheels clean, so I'm riding slow now. Yo, when I got to do that in front of him, he was so geeked. He was like, yo, what you know about this shit,
That's probably a really fun interview.
Bro,
had to be.
I never thought, going into that interview that it would be a bucket list interview. That was a bucket list interview.
No, I mean, bro, legend.
Yeah, bro, because I had never interviewed Bow Wow before.
Yeah.
And to see him in his element, going into the Millennium Tour, this is their 4th year doing it. Cats don't even know that tour in 2021 won a Billboard Award for Best Rap Tour.
Wow.
Nice.
So he beat out J. Cole, he beat out Lil Baby to win that. And, the show itself was phenomenal. It was him, Omarion, Trey Songz. So for them to be doing this in their 4th iteration, 4th year is amazing. Now the record, Bow Wow's back outside, man. So it's him and Chris Brown.
Wow.
Classic.
The Use Me record where they flipped the Murder Inc., Ja Rule and Ashanti, Down Ass Chick record.
Okay.
Shout out to Hitmaker on the beat. Bro, this sounds like prime Bow Wow rapping. And, whenever him and Chris collide, bro, Shorty Like Mine, Ain't Thinking About Us. Man, like.
Ain't think about you tonight.
Yeah, bro, Ain't Think About You, yeah. Like, bro, Bow sounded like he was 18 again, man. And listen, a new album on the way. It's going to be his first in 15 years.
Wow.
Yeah, bro.
Since, what was it, New Jack City?
Album, I think it was Wanted.
Wanted.
Yeah. He was wanted because he's celebrating 15 this year. So I got to speak to him for 2005 week. No, I'm sorry, it's 20.
Yeah, it's 20 since wanted. Wanted was
20
05.
was wanted. So you're right, 2010.
Sheesh.
Yeah, New Jack City.
New
You're
Jack
right.
City.
You're
Yeah,
right.
I'm tapped with Bad
Good
Wizzy
call.
too.
Good call.
Yeah.
Good call. So yeah, I spoke to him for 2005 week to celebrate Wanted, which had Like You, Let Me Hold You, Fresh as I'm Is.
Yep.
So.
Goddamn.
Bow Wow was Drake before Drake, man.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, man. That 4-album run was something different.
Listen, Bow Wow's fandom was so crazy. I remember being so tapped in when he cut his hair. I was like, no, he did, bro.
That was like when AI cut his braids, bro. It hit different.
Man.
Yeah, man.
That was always like a big moment, like when Omarion cut his hair or Bow or like because cornrows were just such a staple of that time. Like
Trey too, man.
Carmelo Anthony.
It's crazy to even think about that story. He said he lost it. He cut it because he lost in a game live.
Yeah, NBA Live. There's video of that.
Yeah, I did see that.
Yeah.
It's freaking nuts, man.
It's wicked, but
think about
those are our songs for the week. So Rain, One Day at a Time, Jack Harlow featuring Doja Cat, Just Us, Bow Wow, Chris Brown, Use Me. Listeners, thank y'all for tapping in. Of course, if you haven't already, subscribe, like, share. If you want some bonus content, hit that Patreon, patreon.com/StayBusyPod. Make sure you follow our guys on all social media platforms at IsThatArden on Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, at the Real CL24 on Twitter, Instagram. I don't think you're on TikTok, are you?
Nah.
You're not on TikTok.
I am, but I don't use it.
I am. It's that Arden too.
I haven't posted one thing, bro.
And of course, follow me at Armon Sadler, Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok. But most importantly, make sure that you stay safe, stay humble, stay busy.